Hi, my name is Michaela Sarton, and today I'm going to be talking about the ancient Greek orders and how they've developed into today's architecture. So first off, what led to the orders that the Greeks created? So the orders follow a certain system called post and lintel. A post and lintel, by definition, is a post with something sitting on top of it called a lintel. And this post and lintel system has been around since the time of the Stonehenge, which is like 3,000 years ago. That's a whole 2,700 years before the Hellenistic age. So these ancient columns are pretty much the Greeks putting their own spin on the post and lintel system. So there's three different types of columns: the Doric, the Ionic, and the Corinthian. All of the columns are split into two different sections: the entablature on top and then the column itself. Both of these rest on a stylobate. Each part of the column has a shaft and a capital. The capital varies between the different orders. Some are more sophisticated, while others are more decorative. Being held up by the column is an entablature, which consists of a cornice, a frieze, and an architrave. Like the capital, the entablature varies in its decoration. For some, it's more plain and simple, while for others, it is more decorative. At the very top of the entablature is the cornice. Underneath that is the frieze. The frieze is a decorative band. The architrave is below the frieze and is the very bottom part of the entablature. So next on the way down is the capital. The capital is usually what people look for to define what the order actually is. The most plain and simple capital is the Doric. It is mainly just a rectangular structure that just sits on top of the column. For the Ionic order, the capital features a scroll-like shape, or a volute. And the Corinthian order is the most ornate. Its capital features these very pretty acanthus leaves. So underneath the capital is the shaft. For all three orders, the shaft features fluting, but for the Ionic and Corinthian orders, in between each fluting is a fillet. So something that the Doric order doesn't have that both the Ionic and Corinthian orders do is a base. And like all of the other features of the orders, the base can vary in its decoration as well. So over time, the ancient Greek orders have evolved, such as during the Roman Empire. At this time, two new orders were created: the Tuscan and the Composite. The Tuscan order is a lot like the Doric order in its simplicity, but the shaft is much smoother and the capital is more round than rectangular. And the Composite order is pretty much just a mashup of the Ionic and Corinthian orders. It features the volutes of the Ionic and the acanthus leaves of the Corinthian. And it didn't just end with the Roman Empire. These columns are still around in today's architecture and they continue to evolve and change. So to make this video more interesting, I thought I would go around my hometown to see if I could find different buildings that seem to have an inspiration from the ancient Greek orders. Turns out there's a lot. There were columns at the courthouse. Fun fact, the courthouse didn't always look this way. Back in 1879, the first courthouse looked more like a schoolhouse. But even since I've been alive, the courthouses look different. When I was little, the courthouse featured white marble and blue accented windows. Unfortunately, the April 27th tornadoes forced the courthouse to be remodeled, so now it is covered in red brick and features beautiful Tuscan columns. End of fun fact. At different churches, surprisingly enough, the Doric order was the least popular out of all of the orders, and the First Baptist church builders liked them so much that they even put them on the side of the building. I think churches in general just really like to decorate with columns because the Catholic Church had many around its building as well. At my old primary school, memories. And something that really shocked me, even some houses had really elaborate columns. They were everywhere. So hopefully with this video you learned a little bit about the ancient Greek orders, and maybe now you're inspired to go exploring to see how the past has inspired the present architecture in your life. Thanks for watching! Man, talking is hard. Post with a lintel on top. Simple as that, as Bob Ross would say. The columns are split. Underneath the cornice is a frieze. Not a phrase, a frieze. Of the frieze. Ancient Greek orders such as during the Roman Empire. What was that? Okay. Why was that so hard? my god.
Hey.
Okay,